Discover the raw power of family boundaries and bold reinventions. Subscribe today for stories that hit home and heal the heart. The hotel room in Chicago smells like recycled air and someone else's perfume. I sit on the edge of the bed, iPad propped against the desk lamp, finger hovering over the screen. Part of me knows I shouldn't watch this. The notification from Taylor Reed, a college friend I haven't spoken to in 3 years, read, "Jordan, you need to see this." The live stream buffers, circles spin, then the video sharpens. Wedding reception, string lights wrapped around oak trees, Napa Valley vineyard in the background, all golden hour glow and Instagram perfection. Taylor Brooks Patterson appears center screen in a strapless white dress. Champagne flute raised high, grinning at the camera with that practiced intimacy. Influencers spend years perfecting. Hey besties, thanks for all the love and support. But this wedding is officially a toxic-free zone. Laughter erupts off-screen. She leans closer to the lens, voice dropping to a stage whisper meant for thousands. We're scrubbing the old Jordan energy from our lives. No more guilt trips, no more conditional love. The camera pans left. Dylan appears in a rumpled suit, tie already loosened, raising his own glass. My brother, 27 years old and still incapable of buttoning a shirt properly. Yeah, the ATM is broken, but we got the cash out first. High fives all around. The wedding party roars approval. My breath catches once, sharp, like touching ice, then steadies. I set the iPad down with deliberate care. My laptop sits on the desk, power cord wrapped neatly beside it. Password autofills. 3 clicks bring up a file I created 2 years ago during a sleepless night after Dylan's third failed business venture. Asset Revocation Protocol, XLSX. Row after row of meticulous entries. Condo Guest Residency Agreement signed November 2022. Ford Raptor registration transferred to company fleet December 2023. Credit card account number authorized user status active since 2020. Each asset Dylan uses cataloged with dates and dollar amounts. 5 years of enabling documented in Times New Roman size 11 font. My cursor drifts to the red highlighted cell at the bottom. Execute YN. I hover there. 30 seconds pass. My hand trembles. The trembling pulls me backward 13 years. I'm 22, sitting in a hospital corridor that smells like disinfectant and the particular hopelessness of oncology wards. Dylan is 14, all elbows and knees, his face blotchy from crying. Through the window of room 347, our mother's chest rises and falls with mechanical assistance. The doctor had used the word minutes when he spoke to me in the hallway. Mom's eyes find mine through the glass. Somehow, despite the breathing tube, despite the morphine, she gestures me closer. I push through the door. Her hand squeezes mine with surprising strength. She can't speak. The tube prevents it, but she pulls me down close enough that I can hear the whispered words, barely audible over the ventilator's rhythm. Promise me, always take care of him. He's still just a boy. I nod, tears streaming hot down my face. I promise, Mom, I promise. That promise became my chain. Every bad business idea, every failed relationship, every rent check I covered, every loan I forgave, every midnight phone call about another crisis, always taking care of him. The live stream is still playing on the iPad. I force myself to watch. Taylor's voice cuts through again, sharper now, playing to her audience of strangers who think they know her. And honestly, it's pathetic how she tries to act like a mother. She's just a lonely spinster with a checkbook. The camera catches Dylan nodding enthusiastically. Not even a flicker of discomfort crosses his face. For real, my sister thinks money equals love. It's sad. The comment section scrolls past. Hundreds of heart emojis, laughing faces, strangers I've never met, celebrating my humiliation like it's entertainment. The word pathetic echoes in my head. Not the theft, not the lies, the casual dismissal of 13 years of sacrifice as pathetic. Something crystallizes inside my chest. Cold. Final. I don't close the Excel file. Instead, I update it. New column. Execution date, New row, evidence, wedding live stream. I screenshot Taylor's declarations, Dylan's laughter. The timestamp shows 9:47 p.m. November 23rd. Then I open my text messages. Find Thomas Ellis's contact. My family estate attorney, 60-something and sharper than most men half his age. I type with steady fingers. Are you watching this? We need to talk tonight. 3 dots appear immediately. Thomas's reply comes through. Already downloaded the video. I'll have preliminary options ready by 9:00 a.m. I look at the execute button one more time. Not yet. I need to be strategic. This isn't about revenge. It's about surgery. Cutting out the infection before it spreads further. I close the laptop, lie back on the hotel bed, stare at the ceiling where a water stain has formed in the shape of something vaguely like a cloud. For the first time in 13 years, guilt doesn't flood in to fill the silence, only clarity. The following morning, Thomas Ellis's voice on the phone at 7:30 a.m. is grim. Not his usual measured attorney tone, something darker. Jordan, the live stream is bad, but there's more. I sit up in bed, still dressed from last night. The hotel room curtains are drawn, but light bleeds through the edges. My phone feels heavy against my ear. What do you mean? Thomas exhales slowly. The sound crackles through the speaker. I accessed your condo security footage remotely. You gave me admin access last year, remember? 3 days ago, 11:47, Dylan entered your unit. My stomach drops. The coffee I ordered from room service sits untouched on the nightstand, steam curling into nothing. I gave him a key for emergencies. This wasn't an emergency. He went straight to the display cabinet in your living room, the one with your father's vintage Rolex. The words hang in the air between us. I can hear Thomas breathing, waiting. Thomas, tell me he didn't. He broke the lock, took the watch. I'm sending you the footage now. The video loads on my phone. Black and white timestamp. November 20th, 11:47. Dylan, alone in my living room, moving with purpose. He pulls a screwdriver from his jacket pocket. The antique display cabinet, the one I inherited from Dad's estate, has a small decorative lock. Dylan pries it open in 30 seconds. His movements are quick, practiced. This isn't spontaneous. He pockets the watch, glances around my apartment like he's checking for witnesses, then leaves. Total time, 4 minutes. I watch it twice. The second time I notice his expression, focused, determined, not guilty, not conflicted. Thomas's email arrives with attachments. I open the first one, screenshot from yesterday's live stream, zoomed in, enhanced. They're on Dylan's left wrist. Unmistakable even in the blurry wedding reception lighting. Our father's 1963 Rolex Submariner, he's wearing it on a live stream with thousands of viewers. It's not just theft, it's arrogance. He thinks I'm not watching. Or worse, he thinks I'm so desperate to keep the peace that I won't dare call him out publicly for wearing Dad's watch. He's betting on my silence. The watch I was going to give Dylan on his 30th birthday when he'd proven he was ready for the responsibility. The watch worth $45,000, the only physical object I had left of my father. Stolen. I stand, pace the hotel room. The carpet is industrial grade, designed to withstand thousands of guests who don't care about it. My bare feet make no sound. Something fundamental shifts in my thinking. This isn't sibling rivalry. This isn't even entitlement. This is theft. Premeditated, calculated theft. The old Jordan insult wasn't a drunken slip. It was strategic cover. Make me the villain so nobody questions why Dylan's wearing a watch that isn't his. Paint me as controlling, pathetic, conditional. Then when someone notices the Rolex, he can say I gave it to him, that I'm just bitter about his happiness. I think like a CFO now. What's the ROI on continued support? What are the opportunity costs of emotional investment in someone who views me as an ATM? The answer is clear. I've been funding my own exploitation. Emily Carter answers on the first ring. Jordan, everything okay? My executive assistant's voice is warm with concern. Emily has worked for me for 6 years. She knows my work voice, my stressed voice, my exhausted voice. This is something new. No, but it will be. I need you to pull together documentation, everything. For the next 20 minutes, we outline operation, cut the cord, 3 pillars, housing. Dylan's guest residency at the condo was never formalized. It's a revocable license. Thomas confirms no lease, no tenant rights, transport. The Ford Raptor is registered to my company as a business vehicle. Fleet asset hash height 47. When I bought it, I told him the company title was for insurance benefits. He signed the transfer paperwork 2 years ago without even reading the header. Too happy about the keys to ask questions. Finances. The credit card is an authorized user account. My name on the primary. Dylan's spending privileges exist only because I allow them. Emily's typing is audible through the phone. Rapid clicks that sound like ammunition loading. I'm creating a folder now. When do you want to execute? I look at the security footage still frozen on my screen. Dylan's hand reaching into the cabinet, taking something that wasn't his. Start with the condo termination notice. I want it delivered today. Later that day, by 4:00 p.m. Austin time, the email is sent. I draft it myself at my office desk, keeping the tone professional, cold, legal. Dear Condo Management, I am formally terminating the guest residency agreement for Unit 847. Effective immediately, Dylan Patterson is no longer authorized to access the premises. Please update key fob access and notify security. I will arrange property retrieval within 48 hours. Best regards, Jordan Hayes. I hover over send for 15 seconds. This is my brother, the boy I raised, the teenager I drove to school every morning while working full-time and finishing my MBA at night. The young man I bilate out of 3 failed startups, always telling myself the next one would be different. My finger presses down. The email whooshes into the void. I open my bottom desk drawer at the office, pull out the framed photo from Dylan's high school graduation. He's grinning, arm around my shoulders, eyes bright with possibility. 17 years old and convinced the world owed him something. I trace his face with one finger, then set the frame face down in the drawer. When the tears come, I let them fall silently. The office is empty. Everyone went home hours ago. I cry for the brother I thought I had. The one who would have called me before the wedding, asked my blessing, included me in his happiness. I cry for the promise I made to Mom, the chain I've worn for 13 years. I cry because winning hurts, but I don't stop. Taylor notices immediately. Day 3 of the honeymoon. She's scrolling through Instagram while Dylan snores beside her in the Napa Valley resort. His breath stale with last night's champagne. 0 likes from Jordan. 0 congratulatory texts. No comments whatsoever. Her influencer instincts prickle. Engagement metrics matter, sure, but family silence means something else entirely. She nudges Dylan awake with her elbow. Babe, your sister's ghosting us. Dylan groans, fumbles for his phone on the nightstand, squints at the screen through one eye. Weird. Maybe she's just busy. Taylor's eyes narrow. She sits up, pulling the sheet around her shoulders, or maybe she's planning something. We pushed hard with that live stream. What if she cuts us off? Dylan sits up now, suddenly alert. The unspoken fear hangs between them. The money could actually stop. Taylor's mind races with influencer logic. Offense is the best defense. We need to control the narrative before she does. By 9 that night, Taylor's new TikTok is live. She's perfected the concerned victim aesthetic. Minimal makeup, messy bun, sitting on the hotel bed in a tank top. The lighting casts soft shadows that make her look vulnerable. Hey everyone, I need to share something really hard. Deep breath. Her eyes glisten though no tears actually fall. My sister-in-law is trying to ruin my wedding. Not just emotionally, financially. She details a fabricated story. Jordan allegedly promised to pay for the wedding, then withdrew support at the last minute. We had to max out credit cards because she wanted to punish Dylan for marrying me. She's always been controlling, but this is a new low. The kicker, She tags Jordan's company, shows the logo on screen, mentions the name clearly. Hayes Logistics, Austin, Texas. I just think people should know what kind of person runs your supply chains. The comments explode within minutes. Hearts, crying faces, outrage on her behalf. Within 2 hours, 47,000 views. My phone rings at 6:47 the next morning. CEO David Lawson. David is usually calm, measured in his speech, but today his voice comes through tight. Jordan, the board is asking questions. My stomach clenches. I'm still in my kitchen, coffee untouched, staring at the mug like it might offer answers. I'm aware of the tick-tock, David. It's fabricated. The truth doesn't matter right now. The optics do. We are 2 weeks away from the merger announcement. Our Google reviews are being carpet-bombed. 23 one-star ratings in the last hour, all mentioning you by name. I close my eyes. The kitchen feels too bright suddenly. The morning sun cutting through the windows like an accusation. What do you need from me? David's tone hardens. I can't have your family drama trending while we're trying to close a billion-dollar deal. Fix this quietly today, or we'll have to discuss if you're the right face for this merger. The line goes dead. I sit in my kitchen, coffee going cold, realizing this isn't just drama anymore. It's an existential threat to my career. Everything I've built for 13 years, threatened by lies told in a hotel room for internet points. I almost break. I open my contacts, scroll to Dylan's name, my thumb hovers over call. I could fix this with one conversation. Apologize for things I didn't do. Promise to keep funding their lifestyle. Restore peace. Make it all go away. My fatal flaw whispers, you promised Mom. You're supposed to take care of him. The phone nearly touches my ear. Then Emily's voice cuts through from the doorway. Don't. I look up startled. Emily walks over, letting herself in with the spare key I gave her years ago. She's still in her gym clothes, face flushed from her morning run. She takes the phone gently from my hand. They're bullying you because they think you're weak, because you've always backed down. You need to show them you're the shark, not the bait. I stare at my assistant, Emily, who's worked for me for 6 years. Emily, who's never seen me cry until this week. Emily, who's witnessed every spreadsheet, every late-night work session, every sacrifice. What if I'm not a shark? The words come out as a whisper. Emily sits down across from me at the kitchen table. You built a CFO career by 35 in a male-dominated field. You manage $400 million in annual logistics contracts. You rebuilt this company's entire financial infrastructure in 2 years. You are a shark. You've just been pretending to be a goldfish for your family. The words land like a slap, physical, sharp. I wipe tears with the back of my hand, sit up straighter. My spine realigns vertebra by vertebra. I need to let them overextend themselves. Emily nods. Exactly. Let them think they're winning. I call Thomas Ellis 10 minutes later. Don't shut down the credit card yet. Thomas pauses on the other end. Jordan, every day that card is active costs you. I know, but I have an idea. They think attacking me publicly gives them leverage. Let's give them rope. I outline the plan. Keep the card active, but start documenting every charge. Create a paper trail that shows Dylan's spending patterns. Most importantly, get written confirmation that he acknowledges the debt. Thomas is silent for a long moment. You're setting a trap. I'm creating evidence. There's a difference. That night, I can't sleep. At 2:34 in the morning, my phone buzzes on the nightstand. Credit card alert. $2,847.63 charged at Napa Valley Resort and Spa Presidential Suite upgrade. I should be angry. Instead, I smile in the darkness. I screenshot the notification with steady fingers, file it in a folder labeled Evidence Financial. Let them feast. Every charge is another link in the chain. I draft the email at 6:00 in the morning on day 5 of their honeymoon. My coffee sits untouched beside my laptop going cold while I polish every word until it gleams with false defeat. Dylan and Taylor, I saw the TikTok videos. I understand you're angry with me, but please, This is affecting my job. My CEO called yesterday. Our company reviews are being destroyed. I can't afford to lose my career over a family misunderstanding. I've unlocked the credit card limit. Enjoy the rest of your honeymoon without restrictions. When you get back to Austin, let's sit down and talk like adults. I'm sorry for whatever I did to make you feel unsupported. Love, Jordan. I read it 3 times. Make it sound even more desperate. Add a line break that suggests I'm writing through tears. Then I hover my cursor over the send button. This is the moment Thomas warned me about last night. Once you bait the trap, there's no taking it back, he'd said, his voice grave with the weight of legal consequences. They'll spend everything they can. Good. I hit send. The email whooshes into the void. The bait is in the water 3,000 miles away in Napa Valley. Dylan's phone chimes during breakfast. I can picture it perfectly. He'll be hungover, probably wearing yesterday's shirt, reaching for his phone with one hand while shoveling overpriced food into his mouth with the other. I'm right. Taylor posts a screenshot to her Instagram story 40 minutes later. I see it because I've created a burner account just to monitor their feeds. The image shows Dylan's phone screen with my email displayed and Taylor's caption reads, "When you stand your ground and they finally respect your boundaries, toxic family no more." The comments flood in immediately. So proud of you. You deserve this, Queen. I screenshot everything. File it in the folder labeled Evidence Social Media. The folder is getting thick. By noon, the first charge hits negative $5,247. Napa Valley Wine Collective. The descriptor notes, private tasting party of 8. 8 people. Neither Dylan nor Taylor has 8 friends combined, which means they're buying affection from strangers now. Performing generosity with my money to people who will forget their names by tomorrow. I forward the transaction to Kevin Patel, my accountant, with the subject line, Evidence for Form 1099-C. Kevin calls within 10 minutes. Jordan, are you absolutely certain about this strategy? The tax implications for Dylan will be severe. 1, that's the point, Kevin. I keep my voice level professional. Prepare the documentation. I want everything legally airtight. You're talking about a massive cancellation of debt. The IRS will treat that as income. He'll owe taxes on money he doesn't have. I know exactly what I'm doing, Kevin. But I hear his keyboard clicking. He's already working. You're more ruthless than most of my corporate clients. I learn from the best. The charges come in waves after that. Day 6, negative $12,500. Presidential suite upgrade for the remaining nights. Negative $3,400 at Gucci. The descriptor makes me laugh bitterly. Wedding recovery wardrobe. Negative $8,900 for a couple's spa package. Hot stone massages. Gold facials. Services. I've never indulged in myself because I was too busy funding Dylan's life. Day 7. Negative $6,200. The French Laundry. Michelin 3-star restaurant. Taylor films the entire meal for her followers, and I watch every video. She holds up a glass of wine that costs more than most people's car payments. Living our best lives now that the toxic energy is cleared. Dylan appears in the frame, toasting with his own glass. The wine sloshes dangerously close to the rim. To boundaries, he slurs slightly. And to sisters who finally learn their place. Learn their place. My hand clenches around my phone hard enough that the case cracks. Emily walks past my office, sees the notifications lighting up my screen, and winces. That's over $36,000 in 3 days, Jordan. I don't look up. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I switch tabs to the master spreadsheet. Cumulative support 2018 negative 2023. I input the honeymoon total into the final row. Then I run the sum formula, combining 5 years of covered rent, business bailouts, paid off credit cards, and legal fees with this week's binge. The number climbs $538,429.18. Are you okay? Emily asks quietly. I'm fine. The lie comes easily now. Another charge appears while she's standing there. Negative $2,100 Napa Valley hot air balloon tour. I add it to the spreadsheet. The cursor blinks in the cell next to the growing total. Emily lingers in my doorway. You know you can still stop this, right? Cancel the card. Cut them off now. No. I save the file with deliberate precision. They need to think they're winning. Let them gorge themselves. She leaves without another word. On the afternoon of day 7, I send one final email. I craft it during my lunch break, eating a protein bar at my desk while legal language flows from my fingertips. Dylan, just to be clear, for my accounting records, you acknowledge that all charges on the card during your honeymoon 1/20 to 11/27 are your personal expenses and your responsibility to handle going forward. Please confirm receipt of this email. Best, Jordan. Professional, bureaucratic, the kind of email he's seen me send 1,000 times to vendors and contractors. His response comes back in 4 minutes. Yeah, whatever, old general. Just pay the bill like you always do. I read it once, twice, 3 times. Screenshot. Forward to Thomas Ellis with one word. Gotcha. Thomas's reply is immediate. That's written acknowledgement of debt responsibility combined with your forgiveness documentation. This is legally bulletproof. Well played. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I feel empty. I close my laptop, pour myself a single glass of bourbon from the bottle I keep in my bottom desk drawer for emergencies. The liquid burns going down, warm and clarifying. The office is empty now. Everyone else went home hours ago. Just me and the cleaning crew and the hum of the HVAC system. I whisper into the silence. The trap is armed. My phone buzzes one more time. Another Instagram story from Taylor. She's holding up a designer shopping bag, grinning at the camera. When you marry up and your new family finally recognizes your worth. I don't screenshot this one. I've seen enough. Tomorrow they fly home. Tomorrow the trap springs shut. Tomorrow, Dylan discovers what happens when you mistake patience for weakness. But tonight, I sit alone in my office and finish my bourbon. The city lights of Austin glow through my window. Somewhere out there, my brother is celebrating his victory. He has no idea he's already lost. Day 8, 4:47 p.m. Austin Bergstrom International. I'm not on the flight. I didn't drive to the terminal. Instead, I'm sitting in my rental, a sensible anonymous Honda Accord, parked in the short-term garage, level 3, section B. I watch the elevator bank through my polarized sunglasses. The doors slide open. Dylan strides out first, dragging 2 designer suitcases I recognize from their shopping spree. $1,200 at the Napa Valley Outlet Mall, charged to the card I'm about to obliterate. Taylor trails behind him, wearing oversized sunglasses despite being indoors, nursing what has to be her 3rd hangover in as many days. She's tapping furiously on her phone. I think we got at least 4 sponsored posts out of this trip. I imagine her saying they head straight for the spot where Dylan always parks the Ford Raptor. Always parked past tense. Now I check my mirrors. My rental is tinted, nondescript. They won't look twice at a gray sedan. Dylan stops walking so abruptly that Taylor nearly collides with his rolling suitcase. What the hell? He circles the empty space like the truck might materialize if he just looks hard enough. Checks his phone. No tow notifications. No missed calls. The confusion on his face would be funny if my chest didn't feel so tight. A security officer approaches, tablet in hand. Can I help you folks? Dylan stammers. Actually stammers. My truck, Ford Raptor Black, was parked right here. The officer taps his screen. License plate. Dylan provides it. I've memorized that number. The officer's expression shifts to professional neutrality. Sir, that vehicle was repossessed 3 days ago by Hayes Logistics. Said it was company property being returned to fleet. Taylor's face drains of color, so fast I can see it from 50 feet away. Repossessed, but Jordan said. The officer shrugs. I just scanned tags. Ma'am, you'll need to contact the company. They take an Uber. $67 to downtown. I know because I'm watching the charge appear on Dylan's personal debit card through the financial monitoring Thomas set up. His account balance $347.82. $3 days ago. It was $1,200. Napa Valley burned through cash faster than he could track. I give them a 10-minute head start, then drive to my downtown office. I pull up the condo security feed on my monitor. The camera angle captures the entrance perfectly. Dylan punches his code into the entry system. The panel flashes red. Access denied. He tries again. Same result. Jordan, what's happening? Taylor's voice climbs into a register that sets my teeth on edge, even through the monitor speakers. Mr. Ramirez emerges from the lobby, envelope in his weathered hands. I spoke with him this morning. Guest residency terminated. No drama necessary, just procedure. Mr. Patterson, I was instructed to give you this. Dylan rips the envelope open. I watch his eyes scan the letterhead. Wilson and Associates Property Management. Dear Mr. Patterson, your guest residency agreement for Unit 847 has been terminated. Effective November 24th, you are no longer authorized to access the building. Personal belongings have been placed in storage Unit 412 at Secure Store Austin. Retrieval instructions enclosed. His hands shake, a visible tremor even on the grainy feed. He pulls out his phone, calls me. I watch it ring on my desk, my name flashing on his screen. Let it go to voicemail. He tries again. Voicemail. Third attempt. His voice cracks through the audio. Jordan, what the call me back now. Taylor is scrolling frantically through her phone. Babe, look at this. She shows him something. I already know what it is because Kevin sent me the confirmation 20 minutes ago. Time to arrive precisely when they'd be back in cell range. Subject, Important Tax Document Form 1099-C. Dylan opens it. His face goes slack. He doesn't understand tax law, never had to. Taylor does. Oh my God, she whispers, her voice trembling with genuine panic. Dylan, this isn't a bill. It's worse. What is it? She shoves the phone in his face. It's a cancellation of debt form. She's not just cutting you off. She's reporting all that money she forgave as income to the IRS. You owe taxes on $500,000, Dylan. We're talking like $150. Zero in taxes we have to pay now. I watch him process this. It happens in stages. Confusion, disbelief, dawning horror, the unlocked credit card, not a peace offering, the accounting records email, not bureaucracy, my silence, not sulking, all those years of support documented. Their honeymoon binge confirmed in writing when he replied, Yeah, whatever. Old general gifts reclassified as forgiven debt $538,429.18. Legally airtight, financially devastating. Taylor's shriek cuts through the audio feed. You said she always caves. You said she's weak. She is, Dylan's voice breaks. This is insane. She did. Dylan, we're homeless. You owe the IRS a fortune. Your truck is gone. Other residents are starring now. Mr. Ramirez gently suggests they leave the lobby. Taylor rounds on Dylan with pure fury. I married you because you said your sister was rich and generous. You said we'd never have to worry about money. You lied to me. She storms toward the street, heels clicking violence against marble. Dylan chases after her. Taylor, wait, we can fix this. We. There is no we anymore. I'm calling my mom. I'm going home. You figure out your own mess. She's already pulling out her phone, thumb jabbing at the screen. An Uber arrives in under 3 minutes. She gets in without looking back. Dylan stands alone on the sidewalk. Designer luggage scattered around him like debris from a shipwreck. He watches her disappear. I watch him. I wait for something to surface. Satisfaction, guilt, triumph, pain, nothing comes, just the quiet relief of surgery successfully completed. The tumor is removed. The patient will survive. I close the security feed, return to my quarterly budget review. The numbers demand attention. Unlike family, they make sense. 3 days after Dylan and Taylor return to Austin, Emily buzzes my office intercom. Her voice carries that particular tension she gets when something's wrong, but she's trying to stay professional. Jordan Austin PD Online, 2. I set down my pen. The quarterly budget review spreadsheet blurs on my monitor. Transfer it through. Officer Ramirez introduces himself with the practiced calm of someone who makes these calls regularly. Dylan was arrested at my condo building. Criminal trespass. Resisting arrest. He tried forcing his way past Mr. Ramirez in the lobby, shouting that it was his home, scaring elderly residents. He became combative when security intervened. Ramirez explains, bail is set at $5,000. I close my eyes. Picture Dylan in a holding cell, probably still wearing those wrinkled designer clothes from the honeymoon, probably confused about how he ended up here. Does he have anyone else to call, ma'am? The question hangs in the air between us. I know the answer. Taylor blocked his number the day they got back. Our parents are 13 years gone. I'm it. I've always been it. I'll handle it, I say, and disconnect. The automated jail call comes at 2:14. My phone vibrates on the desk. Travis County Correctional Facility flashes on the screen. I stare at it through 6 rings, almost let it go to voicemail. On the 7th ring, I answer, Jordan. Dylan's voice cracks. Small, broken, nothing like the confident man toasting with expensive wine 3 days ago. Please, I know I don't deserve help, but I'm scared. I just need bail. I'll pay you back, I swear. Please don't leave me in here. My office is silent except for the distant hum of the air conditioning. Through my window, Austin stretches out in afternoon sunlight. Somewhere down there, my brother sits in a cell, waiting for me to save him. One more time. I close my eyes. See 13-year-old Dylan crying at Mom's funeral, his hand gripping mine so hard it left marks. But then I see the wedding live stream. The stolen Rolex on his wrist. The casual cruelty in his voice when he called me pathetic. I'll post bail, Dylan. The words surprise even me with their steadiness, but not because I owe you anything. Because I want peace. And this gives me leverage to ensure you never contact me again. He starts to protest. I hang up before he can finish the sentence. The electronic payment takes 90 seconds. $5,000 transferred to Travis County. I don't drive to the jail. Instead, I text Thomas Ellis with instructions. Meet Dylan at release. Bring the no-contact agreement we drafted last week. Thomas's response at 6:32 p.m. is brief. He signed. Cried the whole time, asked if you were coming. I told him no. I read the message twice. Then I open my contacts, scroll to Dylan's name, and block the number. Done. 6 months later, Singapore's morning light reflects off Marina Bay outside my corner office window. The humidity here is different from Texas. Heavier, more insistent. I've grown to like it. The Hayes Young Entrepreneurs Scholarship applications spread across my desk. 50 applicants. I've narrowed it to 3 finalists. The fund holds $50,000. It's not money recovered from Dylan. That debt is gone, turned into a tax burden for him. This is money generated from the sale of the repossessed Ford Raptor and the savings I've accumulated simply by closing the Bank of Jordan for 6 months. One application catches my attention. Sophia Ramirez, 19, first-generation college student. Her business plan outlines affordable child care cooperatives. The essay mentions raising younger siblings after their mother died. The parallel makes me pause, but Sophia's approach is different. She's building something sustainable, not enabling dependency, not sacrificing herself on an altar of guilt and obligation. I approve the scholarship. Add a personal note in the margin. Your siblings are lucky to have someone who empowers them rather than controls them. Congratulations. That evening, I sit on my apartment balcony. Singapore's skyline glitters against the darkening sky. My phone buzzes with an email notification from Dylan's old address. Subject, please read. Need help. Preview pain. I know I signed the paper, but I'm really struggling. I just need a small loan to get started. I don't open it. A second later, another notification. Delivery failure. Recipient not found. I deleted that email alias yesterday. The message bounced into the void, unread, unanswered. I check my wrist. My father's vintage Rolex recovered from the police evidence locker after Dylan's arrest gleams under the city lights. The weight of it feels different now, not like a burden, like an inheritance earned. I sip my wine, watch the lights pulse and shimmer across the water. For the first time in 13 years, the silence isn't lonely.